This is my Battania only Bannerlord World Conquest attempt, a challenge where I can only use troops, companions, wife and equipment from Battanian culture. Death is enabled, meaning anyone, even I, can die in battle or of poor health. Iron Man mode is on, therefore whatever happens, happens. I have made a slight addition to the rules. Other clans I want to recruit into my kingdom must be of Battanian heritage. Another minor addition is that all equipment I kit myself and my companions out in must be used by a soldier from the main Battanian troop trees. Any other equipment I come across this playthrough will be sold. This time I will play as the noble Charles Fen Windsor with only one objective: rule Battania. Each stage of the game has different priorities. My only objective initially is to reach Clan Tier 2 as fast as possible. To do this, I participate in tournaments, which will also earn us potentially high tier equipment, and fight small bands of looters until my skills improve so I can fight better foes. All while solo, as the bigger the balance of power is, the more renown will be earned. After a few successes and leveling my bow, I buy the ranger bow, used by the Battanian highborn youth, and eagerly try it out on 12 looters. For some reason my game glitched, and although I had the bow equipped, it would only let me use my starter sword. So I back out and go back in, but it doesn't help. I do not want to surrender, so I do my best with my broadsword but end up going down. It's not until after I'm released that I realise that it wasn't a glitch. I just didn't see that I can't use the bow on horseback. This sets us back massively, as the riding perk that allows us to use any bow on horseback will take years to reach, and I'll have to use the starter bow until then. With my limited gear, I went to the Asarai Desert to see if I was ready to take on the bandits there. I easily handled the 1v10, so took on a 1v29 and reached Clan Tier 1 in summer 1084, but got knocked out and taken prisoner while fighting a 1v33. The desert bandits offer more renown than other bandit types, and a few more fights brought us up to Clan Tier 2 in the autumn of 1084, 63 days into the run. Here the priorities shift. Clan Tier 4, where we will be able to found our own kingdom and start the world conquest, is the next milestone, but there are several other things to achieve prior to this. Money making, troop recruitment, companion recruitment, and finding suitable foes to train them on are all of equal importance now. To speed up his party skills and to make us money, I send out our first companion, Braden Ironbelly, to run a caravan and start a war with the Embers of the Flame. It's an 82 versus 72, and we have low tier recruits. We lose 16 men but win our first battle, earning us 17 renown. I find more companions: Eric Horsethief, Lid Cow Thief, Urian Blacktooth and Mengus the Red before our first year ends. It is now spring 1085, we have 90 strong troops in our party, reach Tournament Master and hit Clan Tier 3, meaning it is now time to find a wife. You can organise a marriage at any point by speaking to a clan leader, but they normally want a large dowry. I prefer to wait until Clan Tier 3, as before this you are not allowed into castle keeps without bribing guards. This way I can freely meet the women of Battania, and I soon fell in love with Tors of the Fen Eingal. She wasn't interested, so I went to her clan leader. To me she is priceless, but to him she is worth 52,000 dinars. We got married straight away. We start the smithing grind and can now craft swords worth 15,000 each. We also hit trade 125 and chose the Great Investor perk so that every profitable caravan now earns 1 renown per day, so send out all 5 companions, as they will also be leveling their party skills, meaning they will be able to hold more troops in their party and increases the chance of their fallen troops to be wounded instead of dead. In Amatatis I see Oros. He was my father-in-law in my Empire Only video, so I feel obligated to help break him out. It went horribly wrong and one foul strike from an Imperial Palatine guard killed him. It is summer 1086. 2 years in, I make my first 1 million, and Tors fell pregnant. Looking at the map, nothing has changed. Every single town is still held by its original owner. No one seems to have gained or lost any power. I see that Sargo is under siege, and I go to have a look. Vlandian and Western Empire armies are all down to the last troops at the end of an obviously close fight. There is somewhere between 20 and 30 nobles in combat here, so many I can't even count exactly. But still the town holds and takes 17 Western Empire lords as prisoner. In the autumn, we welcome our first child into the world, Prince Gorgonson. It is winter 1086. I foolishly stopped participating in tournaments yet hitting Tournament Master, and I realise now that every tournament win will earn us 6 renown, more than the average field battle, and we have not had many of those. We do hit Clan Tier 4 later this month, but would have no doubt reached it a lot sooner. I now have a party of 156 troops, and after fights with small bands of bandits I hit riding 225 and pick the mounted patrols perk. I'm surprised at how early I got this, but there is now a 50% reduced escape chance for prisoners, meaning I can keep enemy lords for longer, reducing the resistance and recovery time of factions when at war. It is now spring 1087, 3 years into a war game, and still the map is the same as it started. I need a property to create a kingdom and have access to the kingdom panel, where it can tell me the strengths of other kingdoms and if they are at war with other factions. I see a weak Sargo with 200 troops defending it, but do not know if Vlandia overall are weak enough for me to take advantage or if they are strong enough to overpower us with reinforcements. Without any true insight, I must risk open war. 2 of my clan parties are nearby and hopefully will be able to wade in themselves. I meet the leader of the Day Corton, Ingolther, and chose him to start the war. This was our first actual skirmish and we took out all 100 troops and only 2 of ours fell. With immense urgency, I start the siege of Sargo. Instantly, nearby lords were alerted and came, and we had to break the siege when King Deathert rode to intercept us. Countless enemies came up to challenge us, but we see another opportunity to take Sargo. As soon as we start, our companion Lid Cowthief is taken prisoner, and 2 armies come into view. We may have made a terrible mistake. Making our escape through Battania, Vlandia take another companion, Eric Horsethief. My attempts of taking Sargo seem to have distracted King Deathert enough for Sturgia to move in and take Rovolt. They are hitting the Vlandians hard from the north, so I join in under their cover and start the siege of Osterkon. We have 190 and there are 447 defenders, so we must get this right. I wanted to build siege engines to assist in the battle, but had to assault early as more and more enemies were grouping up to counter our attack. We emerged victorious. It was a simple battle, but we did lose 44 troops in the process. We now have everything we need to fulfill our goals, and on the 9th day of summer, 1087, 3.5 years in, we founded our own kingdom. We shall name it Great Batten. We have only one objective: conquer the world. Before we do anything else, I need time to recuperate. We make peace with Vlandia and supply Osterkon with as many Battanian troops as possible. We are now leading an army of over 500 troops, have 2.5 million dinars, and are ready for war, but not one kingdom stands out as being stronger or weaker than the others. I want to take land nearby the Battanian fiefs, as being able to quickly resupply our troops will be critical to my success early on. My options are to wage war on one of 3 kingdoms. Battania and Sturgia will leave me open and exposed if I took lands and total war were to break out, so I declare war on Vlandia to have my surroundings secure. As soon as we set up a siege camp at Turby Castle, Torst gave birth to our second child, Princess Mojua. We take the castle with ease, but straight away lose a companion. Rest in peace, Lid Cowthief. Our actions have not gone unnoticed, as King Deathert sends 3 armies worth over 1,700 men to hunt us, and must defend our new property. We successfully defeat the 2 armies and take 15 Vlandian lords as prisoner, and confront the 3rd while they set up a siege camp. In spring 1088, we take Ormafard Castle and Oxhall, where a 2nd companion was slain, Braden Ironbelly. In the autumn, we reach Clan Tier 5. Our kingdom's total strength is now 1,794, while opposing us is 3,077. We have inflicted more than 4 times the number of casualties they have, and are holding 21 lords as prisoner in only 61 days of war. We are now running an army of 749 troops and take Pravend, Veresund Castle and Drapend Castle. We had a great field battle where we killed 598 and lost only 13 of our own. We are now evenly matched with the Kingdom of Landia and have 41 prisoners. Pravend is under siege, so we rush to help. We arrive with no time to spare as the town was worn down to its last 2 defenders, and we successfully push back the 619 with minimal losses. We lose Drapend Castle, but take it straight after. The fight with Vlandia is tough, but we have now secured north of the river. We are struggling to fight an entire kingdom with only 1 clan, but we are certainly winning this war. We cross the river and take Horngard Castle, but must abandon our conquest to restock as our army is dwindling with only 333 men remaining. Without my presence, I fear I might lose properties, but it's a risk I must take if I am to eradicate the Vlandians. Praven is under attack, so with our fresh 596 troops we march to save the city. We retook Horngard Castle. At this point I have a bloodlust and a burning hatred for Vlandia. Veresund Castle is under siege, but if I keep doubling back this war will never end. I push forward and take Galen, where I find our next companion, Pelisor Cowthief. We lost Horngard and Veresund Castle, and Drapend Castle is under siege. We take back Horngard Castle and capture Jaculin, and have an outstanding field victory when we took out 772 Vlandians with only 25 of our own troops falling. It is winter 1089 and we have been at war for 2 years. We take Charas, Unzak Castle and reach leadership 250, where I can pick the talent manager perk, which allows me to run an extra party, meaning I can have 5 companions lead their own parties, increasing my army size. I elect Urian Blacktooth as a party leader, but I lose him straight away while retaking Charas. When I started this war, I did not anticipate wiping Vlandia out of the game. I didn't think it possible as a solo clan. It's taken much longer than anticipated, as there have been plenty of stray lords picking on my weakened properties, and when I saw this many on my screen, my heart sank. How was I supposed to round up all these lords and stop them from harassing my kingdom on my own? It is summer, 1090, 6 years into the run. Looking at the rest of the world, everything is still the same. I see the Southern Empire have taken one town from the Aserai, but everyone else has remained stagnant. We march north again and retake Jaculin, where we lose a 4th companion, Pelisor Cowthief. At this rate, I will run out of companions to lead parties. For the 3rd time, I retake Horngard Castle. There are only 2 castles in Vlandian hands. The war is almost won. I rush to retake Veresund Castle and Drapend Castle, and Vlandia are no more. Before I've even contemplated my world conquest strategy, one faction is already taken care of. 207 days of war and 28,000 casualties inflicted. The war was a great success and has put us in a great position. We do, however, need to focus on recruitment again to properly stock our garrisons and be able to pull large amounts of troops out should we need to quickly restock our clan army. We have dropped below 1 million, so we'll start smithing again as we go town to town. And on our way to hire our next companion, they die. I have failed each time I have tried to recruit a Battanian clan to my kingdom, so I declare war as this seems to be the only way to inspire them. We find that they have taken Rovalt from the Sturgeons, and with only 60 defenders, we lose 13 from our 800 strong army, one of them being my newest companion, who was with us for only 11 days. King Caladog of Battania, with his own army of 834, marches in sight, en route to try and take land from us. They slightly outnumber us, but astonishingly, the Lake Rats who were accompanying him change faction and now fight for Western Empire. I have only seen this happen in front of me twice, and both times I've managed to document them in my videos. The invasion force is almost halved in number, so we engage, and I take out the false king myself, before claiming another castle. Another army slips past and besieges Veresund Castle, but we are nearby and intercept before they can attack and take 6 prisoners. We find Meladir of the Fenuvain, and they are the first of the Battanian lords to convert to our cause. He also came with Carbenzeth. Aaron Fengail is happy serving the Battanians and will not join our kingdom, so we took his home from him, and now he accepts. We then captured Prindor of the Fen Morcar, and he agreed to join us too, bringing 10 other nobles with him. Summer 1091, currently the Khuzait seem to be the most prevalent force, having taken 3 neighbouring towns, while Western Empire seemed to be expanding too, with 1 town and several castles gained. We have grown to a large force of 948. We take Astor Castle and Dunglanis, where I fully see the capabilities of the Fian champions. We took out 686 defenders before breaching the walls and only charged in when there were 19 troops remaining. En route to siege Maranath, we pass some Sturgeons assaulting Verin Castle and Remtoil Castle. These are the last 3 properties belonging to Battania. And after they are all taken, after 84 days of war, we make peace with Battania. I have dropped below 1 million again, and now we are at a time of peace. I will travel the Empire lands to pick up Pugios for smithing. In 3 of the towns we find 34, 49 and 30, the most I've ever seen at once. We will not need to worry about money for a long time after this. Vlandia have taken 2 castles since we wiped them off the map, so declare war and quickly remove them again before they have a chance to regain power, and soon take Sionen that had been taken over by rebels. We have hit leadership 275 and can take the ultimate leader perk, benefiting not only us but our companion-led parties too, solidifying our chances of success later. While contemplating my next conquest, I find both Western Empire and Sturgia to be evenly matched and suitable targets. However, I make the decision to wage war on Sturgia, in order to avoid exposing myself to too many other nations, which would be the case if I were to conquer the lands of the Western Empire. With 1,100 men, my first act was to take Varsheg. Immediately, around 15 lords approached with a large army. If they were to catch us, it would be a 1,155 versus 2,200, and I have not yet faced the Sturgeons in battle yet, and would need to learn tactical moves and counter moves before I can confidently use my Battanian-only army against their culture. This was the toughest battle yet. I am unsure if it was the layout of the castle or the Sturgeon troops alone, but I could not gain access through the broken wall. I pulled back and went for the ladders, but we only got the upper hand when our reinforcements arrived. We only won because we had numerical superiority. We had doubled the troop count, but half our men got wounded or died, just like another companion. There is no time to catch breath. The 1,500 Sturgeons we ran away from are here to take Varsheg. It is a decisive victory, but we lose 234 brave men. The next 2 hours of footage got corrupted, but we reached Clan Tier 6 after the last battle, lost Sionen, and Varsheg was attacked again, and we successfully fought them off. Took 23 prisoners, but lost a 7th companion. A new companion dropped into the game, so rush to recruit before they drop out again. They are a few days away and in the wrong direction, but I must do this as I am losing companions at such a rate that I'll be running out of party leaders soon. I'm glad I did, as the next castle we take, we lost Pelisor Cowthief and Urian Blacktooth both. The companion death count is now at 9, and I must use my wife Torse to run a party. She had just reached Engineering 150 and unlocked the Fire Mangonel perk too. Out of every town and castle, Varsheg seems to be the most high maintenance property to keep, as it is besieged once more. We have dwindled to 621 troops and are outnumbered by the Sturgeons 868, but win the battle and reach Scouting 225. Choose the Keen Sight perk, which reduces the chance of prisoner escape in my party by 50%. Coupled with the 225 riding perk we got earlier, there is now 0% chance for prisoner escape. In my opinion, this is the most important 2 perks, as we will now cripple nations, as there is no opportunity for enemy kingdoms to recover and resupply. They will only lose strength, and the longer the war, the less opposition there will be. We now have 41 Sturgeon prisoners, and take Nevyansk Castle, while Meladir is sieging Pendriak Castle. They seem to be losing the battle, and we managed to lend help when he was down to his last 6 troops, and together we take the castle. It is spring 1093. We take back Sionen, and keeping great momentum, take Remtoil Castle, defended Varsheg from a great host of 840, took Ustakol Castle where an 10th companion dies. It is when we take Revel in the summer of 1093 that we reach Bow 225 and can now swap the bow we've been using since our character creation for the Woodland Longbow, like my Fian champions. We found 7 Sturgeon lords leading 562 men and rose to the opportunity of taking more nobles off the map. The more we take, the less raiding and retaking of properties, and an army this small was too easy to let go. We defeated them and lost only 15 men. We take Flintog Castle, while Aaron is sieging Cranarod Castle, and Berican is on his way to retake Nevyansk Castle. The war has gone on for 111 days, and despite our progress, we still have 3 towns and 6 castles to take. Their total strength is diminishing, as we have 57 of their lords as prisoner. Cemented in first place with 69 tournament wins, as second place is only at 29. We have a flawless victory at Belgard as we kill 487 defenders without even entering the castle or any of my troops getting wounded. It is only a matter of weeks, but with the help of Vlandia, we pushed Sturgia back to the last 3 properties. I take Omor while Eragon is taking Mazadon Castle, and the last remaining Sturgeon hold, Mekalovia Castle, is being sieged by Vlandia. We have paid them almost 1 million in tribute, and they are starting to make a comeback, so I declare war and take Ov Castle off them. Vlandia have failed to take Mekalovia Castle, so I finish the job and remove Sturgia from existence, sell the 58 prisoners I have in my party for 16,000 dinars, and make peace. This is the current state of the world. Northern Empire are reduced to the last 2 towns. Southern Empire and the Asurai have not changed since the start of the game. It is only the Khuzait and Western Empire that are dominating their regions. We recruit my wife's family to our kingdom, who had switched sides and were working for the Asurai. We also bring Mireas and her clan over, free of charge. and the last clan, defend Penrake for 278,000 dinars. The only remaining Battanian clan is King Caladog's own and whatever minor clan that wants to work with a broken kingdom. Between all this, Sturgia have already made a comeback and taken 2 towns and 2 castles from the Crusade. We will deal with them later. Flandria have had all their castles taken from them, so we offer peace once again. And we decide to cull the Western Empire of power and declare war. The battle plan for them is to prioritise armies involving numerous nobles and take towns as castles as quickly as possible. We start off the war by taking Ortricia, caught up with 9 lords, took them all captive, and sacked Legetta, Hertigia Castle, Jalmeris, Zionica, and Poros, all in time for Prince Gorgonson's 8th birthday. Sturgia have grown to 5 properties and declare war on us. They take Ov Castle back before I suggest peace. I want to concentrate on the Western Empire and don't have the patience for these time wasters. Western Empire had taken Mekalovia Castle, but our allies take it and Gersagus Castle back while we take Rote. It is the last few days of 1094 and we have been at war for 61 days and are well on our way to eliminating our enemy. We lose Rote and Eris's army wastes no time in taking it back. We catch up with the 7 lords that took it and take them all prisoner, and by the summer of 1095, just over 1 year of war, we have taken all their towns and castles for our own. It was an easy war, 18 successful sieges versus their 2. We sold all the prisoners we had on us, but that made the peace deal go from 2,000 a day to 0. I won't be selling prisoners like this again. Now it's the Aserai that are the strongest, invading the Khuzait from the south. Southern Empire seem almost untouched, even after 11 years, and Sturgia and Northern Empire are down to 2 towns each. The current maximum combined strength of our army is 1,365, and marched to fight the Sturgeons. The war lasted 30 days, but they have once again been rid of. And even though they have nothing, and are essentially defeated, the peace terms demand that we pay them 2,760 a day. In the autumn of 1095, still with a powerful force of 1,247, we start our next conquest with the Khuzait, and sack the town of Teal, where Tors gets a fantastic 28 kill mangonel shot, and we get 19 prisoners. I find myself often retracing my steps to defend newly acquired properties, but I'm determined to adopt the new approach, a lightning war. The idea behind this is to press forward relentlessly without looking back. While this strategy may result in losses of captured castles and towns, its success will be down to the help from other members of my kingdom. We take Dinar Castle, where Princess Mojua spends her 8th birthday, then lost Teal, took Kaysar Castle, and back at Teal, rebels took control. We take Baltakand and Tepes Castle, where we see that all of the lands we have took have been taken again. I'm not sure if we made any progress whatsoever. We push forward nonetheless and take Makeb. When we take Uzek Castle, I see that 3 armies have been formed and are working exceptionally well, taking back the properties that we lost. In the spring of 1096, we take Chakend, clean up the rest of the Khuzait, and see the Aserai take care of the last castle. The war only lasted 62 days, and they're now paying us 940 a day in tribute. The castle that we saw the Aserai take, Epinosa Castle, still has the invasion force inside. They outnumber us, but there are 18 lords inside. I cannot let them go unchallenged. I do not want to waste time, 1 lord at a time, and taking this many out at once will kick the war off to a very good start, so I wage war and begin the siege. This was the closest and most difficult battle yet. It was a 1,112 versus 1,533, and when we got to the battle, we were given significantly less men than they were. I didn't want to take risks as this is the first time we are facing the Aserai, and I am testing my Battanian troops and trying to find weaknesses and identify strengths. I whittle down the defenders but struggle getting through the walls. We finally break through, but it's now a 156 versus 619. I am on minuscule health and don't witness it, but the battle feed suggests that we are the superior force and take all 18 prisoners. Our second act was to take Akalat, and we did, but not before going down. I recovered quickly and assaulted Akasa Castle and went down again. We had a good field victory and took a further 5 prisoners, but we are down to 950 troops and a very long way from home. The Aserai have only 7,000 troop strength against our 21,000, so we will not restock. We will push with what we have. Before taking a third castle, I fall out of a window, and when I reclimb the walls, I go down once more. Over the next year, we take Hassanvolk, Shibal Zuma Castle, Tamna Castle, Razi, and Sahel Castle. When we went to take Hubyar, I meant to siege the town as normal, but I misclicked and accidentally pressed the sneak into town option, which failed and I was taken prisoner. Army disbanded. I had to pay 477,000 dinars to be released, but after I called back my clan members, took the town, along with Jamea Castle, Liakis, Khazar, and Askar. We took everything in our path and reached Sanala, which had the highest prosperity I've ever seen, 9,457. My go-to trade commodity for early game income and trade XP is tools. You can find them for as cheap as 40 dinars and sell them for up to 400. Here, they are sold for over 1,000 dinars each. The good luck stopped there though. I didn't notice, but while we were sieging Koyaz, we ran out of food and my clan army disbanded. I was unable to summon my party leaders back as they didn't have enough troops. I made sure my party was full, as my medicine skill is only applied to my own party, so for better troop retention and less deaths, my party leaders were taking in the excess troops. This is good, as we can continue to fight with 368 top tier troops, but this is bad, as this is half the troops we had overall, and as the others are all fighting on their own now, they will no doubt be easy targets. Until they recruit troops and get themselves above the 40% threshold, we are on our own. Akbar Castle has a tiny defence, so we retake it in time for Prince Gorgonson's 11th birthday. We had lost Sanala, so went to take it back. We were slightly outnumbered, but I was confident in my troops. I didn't want to lose anyone to catapult shot, so I was waiting to knock them out when suddenly a larger army came up to challenge us. I had no time to react, as I was zoomed in as I like watching the animations. Thankfully the battle map gave us advantage. I was worried, but only 12 men in our elite army fell, whereas the Aserai force was completely decimated. We easily took back Sanala, and in spring 1098 we take the last Aserai town, and after 146 days of war, we make peace. I spend the next month recruiting and returning my clan army to full strength. Our total capacity is now 1,434. The Southern Empire are the only kingdom remaining that can put up a fight. However, every other faction has started crawling back. To stop them gaining power, I want to rid the world of these failed kingdoms first. We start off by taking the two castles belonging to Western Empire, then declaring war on Vlandia and Northern Empire. Then Sturgia declares war on us. We take Ataconia Castle, while Aridir's army takes Gurska's Castle. Sestadame Castle and Onka Castle are taken next, with Cullen's army taking Rhesus Castle. I am concentrating on Vlandia currently to wipe one kingdom out at a time, but with so many wars at once it's difficult for our ally armies to know where to go or where to be, so we lose two castles back to Vlandia. The Khuzait declare war on us. I am at war with everyone who has properties, and it's making it so much slower to progress. I will make peace with all but keep the war with Vlandia. After 11 more days, our allies take the last castle back and we can declare peace and move on. Princess Mojoa turns 11, and as a present, we declare war on Northern Empire. They only have 2 towns, but we have been paying them 22,000 dinars a day to keep peace. We take Argonon, and that somehow came with 32 prisoners. While sieging Sinopia, an army of 1,265 approached. I could have marched to take the town and ignored this force, but I didn't want to leave such a large army unchallenged. I broke the siege and fought. We won and took the nobles prisoner, and razed the town of Sinopia and made peace with Northern Empire after 16 days, taking 68 prisoners. In spring 1099, our next target is the Southern Empire. By the summer, we took Gaius Castle, took Chanopsis Castle, Ficaron, Lycaron, and Morenia Castle. The Khuzait are also at war with them and took Mizea. I found them sieging Melian Castle, but were being confronted by a nearby army of 15 lords, so we rushed to help. The battle was chaotic. We won, but I didn't have command of the Khuzait troops and they had their own strategy. We had to keep up with them, putting our own lives at risk. I should have let the Empire defeat the besiegers and then fight the remaining force, as whoever owns Melian Castle will get it taken off them in the end. Southern Empire have 9 properties left. I decide to make a tactical peace, releasing 16 prisoners. Sturgia are becoming more of a nuisance, and it's better for our allies if all our enemies are concentrated in one region. I will focus on retaking the 6 Sturgeon castles, and then we'll resume with the main war. This only takes a few weeks, and in the autumn, as our allies are sieging the last castle, we start a war with the Khuzait. Taking Amprella was easy, and we found an army 3/4 our size and caught them in what should have been an easy victory. but they took out 362 of our men, killing 119. This always happens when I take on a new enemy, as unit composition on both sides plays a huge role in the outcome, and I had never played a Battania versus Khuzait battle before. Western Empire and Vlandia have each taken a castle, and on our way to take the last of the Khuzait territory, the Second Southern Empire War starts. We have almost taken all towns and castles. Western Empire took the Vlandian castle, so now have 2. The Aserai have 1 town and 1 castle, and the Southern Empire have a total of 9 holds. 13 sieges and we will be victorious, so this should be quick. But this was not the case. Firstly, while on our way to siege Cyrenaica, I ran out of food, so had to double back to Mysaea, but that only bought us a couple of days worth of food. When we finally got back to the siege, we were met by Empress Regaea herself with an entourage of 22 nobles. We are outnumbered in a 1,204 versus 1,649. But my experience in fighting for and against Empire made me confident in our success. The battle started off as expected. We looked to be in advantageous terrain, so I positioned everyone accordingly and quickly repelled the infantry attack, but their cavalry numbers were far greater than anything I've fought before, and Empire cavalry are known as the best in Caldaria. They tore through my lines, but it was an even battle. They took out 1,195 and we took out 1,194. But because they had the numbers, it came down to me versus 455. I eventually went down, army obliterated, prisoner, alone. Spring 1100. 3 days we were imprisoned and only released after paying 179,000 dinars. While returning to the lands of Battania to restock troops, I declared war on Western Empire, as I had hoped my ally armies would remove them for me, but this only resulted in losing another castle to them, so quickly resumed the peace. In the summer, we emerge with a full army of low-tier troops that need seasoning. My kingdom want war with the Southern Empire to resume, but I think it's too soon, so I say no. Or I would have, but I've somehow ran out of influence. This took me completely by surprise. I am now at the mercy of my kingdom to not make stupid requests, like wanting war with the Northern Empire who don't have any castles or towns. Yet, I cannot vote against them, so must accept. Before long, our kingdom forced us to start wars with the Aserai, Khuzait, Vlandia and Northern Empire. We managed to scrape enough influence together to make peace with the Southern Empire, but I fear for a prolonged war and a worldwide game of whack-a-mole. We take back Varagos, Thorius and Sestadane Castle from the Western Empire and have enough influence for peace. That's them dealt with for now. We take Hassenfolk from the Aserai and the Southern Empire back for war, and the Sturgeons take Talivel Castle. While we take Shibal-Zimar, Prince Gorgonson turns 14. My kingdom is asking me to declare war on various factions almost daily. I am struggling to earn enough influence to constantly reject their propositions, so my best tactic now is to keep all the wars and take as many nobles as possible off the map by capturing them. We are currently at war with 5 nations and the other 3 have 100% support. Any moment now there will be a total war. Aserai took Tamna Castle, and while we took it back, Hassenfolk and Zumar Castle are assaulted, but thankfully we were close enough to help. I have enough influence to say no to a pointless war my kingdom wants with Battania, who have no properties, but notice that I've dropped to 405,000 dinars. Sturgia are trying to make an impact in the west. I'm trusting Cullen's army to keep the peace. I am trapped around Hassenfolk, taking prisoners and unable to do anything else. The Southern Empire still have 8 holds and the Aserai and Khuzait are managing to take land themselves. We have 90 prisoners across all factions and took another 9 while taking Donistica. Southern Empire took one of our castles, but our allies took it back, and we took Lavenia Castle from them. Thinking I'd won the south, I ventured out and took Vostrum, but when I took it, I'd lost them again and Donistica was under attack too. Caught in the grip of my own warmongering kingdom with no commitment to peace and being unable to earn sufficient influence to control them, I find myself in a relentless cycle of seizing and reclaiming territories. My strategy hinges on capturing sufficient lords to slow the enemy's advances. However, with ongoing conflicts involving almost every faction in the realm, progress is painstakingly slow. I defended Donistica, retook both castles, and feeling courageous, we took Odrissa Castle, hoping to create more of a buffer zone so I can leave the desert and resume the conquest, but now I have 3 sieges in progress. We fend them all off and are forced northwards to defend Danira. While we are nearby, we took Korenia Castle. Shibal-Zimar Castle fell, but someone took Morenia Castle. Autumn 1101. For the second time this year, I say no to a war with Battania and take Cyrenaica, removing the Southern Empire from the map. There are now only 10 settlements to take, and we will own Caldaria. We are in a slightly better position than when we were taken prisoner a year and a half ago. We have made peace with the Southern Empire, and are only at war with those who have land. We take Akalat from the Khuzait, and Odok and Ezana Castle from the Aserai, then sing happy birthday to Princess Mojua. Once again, I say no to a war with Battania. We push forward with the speed and aggression that only someone who should have finished the game already has, and take Samira and Kimli Castle, wiping both the Aserai and the Khuzait from the map. My allies on the other side of the world have taken Talivel Castle and Thrakdare Castle from the Sturgeons, removing them from the map also. I cannot make peace with any of these yet though, as I am still out of influence. We travel to Gerzigus Castle and take the last hold from the Western Empire. On our way back, the Southern Empire have started claiming land back. It's only 5 settlements now, but we are in a total war, and as we are still struggling with influence, peace is not an option, and we will likely lose more castles. We take Shibal Zuma Castle once more, as well as Odok and Onira, which is already under siege. I take Samira Castle but lose Onira. We take the last castle and march to reclaim Onira, the town standing in the way of us and world domination. While in the siege camp, Prince Gorgonson turns 16, and we take the town. 15th Autumn 1102, the day we conquered the realm. After that shambles of an endgame, we end up with 205 prisoners in my party alone, and still my kingdom are not interested in peace. Charles Sven Windsor turned 68 the year he retired. He won 81 tournaments, and I would say playing as Battania was far easier than I thought. Our weaknesses only showed themselves when we fought Empress Regea and her elite cavalry. All in all, I'm impressed with our 18-year world conquest. Our biggest setback was definitely running out of influence. I had all the policies and perks that boosted it, but I was obviously rejecting too many requests from my kingdom, such as castle ownership and wars I kept delaying. I could only have finished faster and cleaner, but this is the fastest I've won the game so far. This is the second installment in my World Conquest series. These videos take me a long time to produce, so thank you for your patience, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.